Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. You are watching our live Wise Morning Coffee Chat show. Thank you for everyone that is joining us. We are super excited about our conversations today. So, I'm the founder of the Women's Institute of Self-Development and Efficacy, WISE for short. This is the show where you get your cup of inspiration, conversation, and motivation. And we just like to highlight amazing women from our community and just have amazing conversations. So that's who I am this morning. Nara, go for it, girlfriend. Introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies. My name is Nara Diaz. I'm a first time mom, and I am also trying to get into tech. So I'm studying for my certifications for Salesforce admin.
Nice. Congratulations. And of course, we have our guest for today, Yessenia Cruz. Yessenia, go for it and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yessenia Cruz. You guys, I think, already know who I am. I don't know, I'm a mom of five. We were just talking about that a couple of minutes ago. Mom of five. I'm a health coach, so I help people with their eating habits to eat better, to become healthier, and then try to help them take their health to the next level. And I think that's pretty much it because I don't want to get into too much. We'll talk about that later about the other stuff. So
yeah, good morning to Yessenia and her guns. She brought her guns to the gun show this morning. You could totally, you could see them.
Oh, no, that's the redness from the working out. Okay.
Oh no. Good. No, you're I'm seeing there. I'm like, look at her with her biceps and her shoulders over there flexing without even trying. Good morning, everyone. This is exciting. Of course, we love all the ladies here. We just playing around. But let's go into our topic. We love to talk about this. It's coffee time, right? So I see Jennifer is on with us. Let me make sure I say good morning to Jennifer, who's part of our cohort for our coaching program right now. So we're excited to see her here with us. So let's go into coffee time, ladies. So what are you drinking? Nara, what are you drinking this morning?
I'm drinking my Premier Protein cafe latte or cafe kind over ice with a splash of cold brew coffee and my sweet foam and a splash of French vanilla sugar-free syrup.
Nice. That's fancy. Love it. What are you drinking, Yessenia?
Well, I am happy to say that I finally feel officially part of the group because I'm actually having an actual coffee, not a pre-workout, not a weight loss supplement, black coffee.
Black coffee.
Having black coffee with nothing in it.
Just plain old black coffee.
That's it.
I actually have in my coffee this morning. I'm doing the collagen thing. It's interesting to taste. I'm not gonna lie. I'm putting collagen in my black coffee, but I want to make sure that I give a shout out everyone that's watching. Our sponsors is Café Ama Love. You can find them. They are a social impact Arabic coffee, ethnically grown in Puerto Rico, and 100% of sales of Café Ama Love are invested in entrepreneurship education programs for women and children. So definitely check them out. cafeama.com, or is it .org? I apologize. Check them out. No, .com. Check them out. You get a 20% discount if you use the code WISE when you order your coffee through them. So yeah, I'm doing my black coffee similar to Yessenia, and I put the collagen in it, and the collagen has a raspberry taste. So I'm here trying to understand the flavors that are going on. Luckily
Was that code for this is weird tasting stuff?
Yeah, it's a little, I don't know. So, I'm coming out of COVID, right? I had COVID, and you ladies knew. I didn't tell everybody. And my taste buds are still intact, I think. Like, I think I could still taste fine. I can't smell for the life of me. So my smell is totally gone. So I don't know if my taste buds are just out of whack right now, because that could be it, or it just really doesn't taste that great. But it's okay. I'm like, collagen's good for me. Just suck it up and eat it or drink it. You need it. I've lost a lot of hair from having my second baby, or my third baby. What number am I on? Number three. you know so I lost a lot of baby with number two, and then it just didn't help. Now with three, it's like, man, if I go for one more round, am I gonna go bald? Like, so I gotta start taking collagen. And I'm trying to take things from my hair, because I could see that I lost a lot of hair from the whole pregnancy. I don't know if that happened to you guys, the hair loss thing. I know, so for some women it happens after pregnancy. They lose a lot of hair.
Every time I wash my hair currently right now, like just clumps and clumps and clumps of it are falling out. And my cousin and my hairstylist told me that's normal because, and I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually get extra hair when we're pregnant.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
neither. When I was pregnant with the twins, though, I did realize that anytime I wash my hair and run my fingers through, when I was pregnant with the twins, yes, I realized that I was losing hair.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I still got a lot of it, yeah, but it didn't thin out. Mine now doesn't happen anymore, but yeah, I realized that. I did get my first white hair when I was pregnant with the twins, though. I could tell you that. I'm not saying you guys are going to get
Oh,
white hair. I got my first white hair.
I got
And
white
they have
hair already. I was like, I
Yeah.
got white hair
it
already.
was a big trouble.
Unfortunately, me too.
The one weird thing, and this is great to go into Mother's Day, I have a chin hair. All right. So I have this one. Did you got it too? I got, when I first got pregnant. Yeah. When I first got pregnant with my oldest, like, all of a sudden this one black chin hair just wants to pop up. Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Is it the testosterone? She give me extra like, I don't understand. But since that pregnancy, one weird black hair comes out of my chin. So this is a great segue into Mother's Day 2021. Let's talk about how, and for those that are watching, let us know what you're drinking this morning and how your Mother's Day went. How did your Mother's Day? What did you guys do? Anything exciting? Just kind of wanted to chit chat about that. Anybody? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay.
So I'll go. So my first Mother's Day was really special for me. Got these t-shirts that I'm still wearing today with like a little elephant on it that had Mommy and Gabrielita, which is her nickname, on it. And
Aw.
and she got a matching onesie, and then and I dressed it up like in a cute skirt. And my husband came home Saturday night from work, and he brought me a dozen long stemmed white roses and a bottle of champagne, which was so smooth and so good. I had never had this brand before, and it was really nice. And we woke up, we actually started dancing to Bruno Mars in the morning time. And then, which is really funny, I never realized Bruno Mars has like so many like little tidbits of weird things that he says in his songs that are hilarious. Actually, like he's like, uh, sh- um, girl, shut your mouth, shut your trap. And he's like singing this in a romantic way, like, and I just started laughing. So I got some comedy and music at the same time. We went and did the night when my husband had to go to work, and we ended the night at the Cheesecake Factory, which is what I had wanted to do. And, it was, I feel like, I don't even know where Mother's Day comes from, but is it like somebody told me that it's from a corporate, like corporations made it just so people can spend money on moms?
Well, I
Is that true?
I mean, I know everyone tries to blame some type of corporation for something, but I mean, we need to recognize moms every day, in my opinion. But I get it.
Yeah.
Like, we need a special day. And at the end of, I mean, we have Mexican Mother's Days today. I don't know if there's a difference in
So
Puerto
it's not.
Rico. I highly doubt Mexican Mother's Day is like, yeah, let's make this commercial. All right, like
Yeah, so it's not. So I was just wondering that though, because I mean, we tried to go to Cheesecake Factory in the afternoon and there was like an hour and a half wait. And there was two of us. And she's like only 15 pounds. So we just hold her because she doesn't like the car seat or anything. And there was still like an hour and a half wait. I said, and I know the statistics from my background, but Mother's Day is the busiest day of the year for restaurants. And I was like, this is a really good moneymaker. Looking through my news feed, there's all this stuff. So that's why I was wondering if there was some truth to that, but it doesn't seem like that. So that's good.
Can
go
I
ahead.
can I
Yeah.
interject? Okay, so I went online, of course. So it says that this tradition has been going on for nearly 110 years. The day was started by Anna Jarvis. She dedicated the day to his mother and chose the date in such a way that he fell on his mother's death anniversary around 9th of May. It may be noted that this time Mother's Day falls only on 9th of May. So it says here, according to Britannica.com, Anna Jarvis originated Mother's Day in May 1908. Jarvis's mother was known for organizing women's groups to promote health and friendship. Her mother died in 1905. In the wake of her mother's death, Jarvis wanted to set aside a day to honor the sacrifices of mothers for their children.
Oh, that's beautiful. See, I think that's a nice legacy. I had no clue that's where Mother's Day started from.
And I didn't know that it never, it only existed 100, since 1908. I would have thought that it was been for, I mean, I guess that's how things start, right? They really aren't always
Yeah,
something
you
that,
gotta start it somewhere.
yeah.
That's great though. That's awesome.
I would think you would celebrate moms like it would be common sense, right? To like celebrate moms for thousands of years. Like, how is it only 100 years ago we just started celebrating moms? I'm just saying, right? Like this woman like deteriorated her body for you. Like we were just talking about like you shred. Like no one ever realizes there's a meme going on where they show the baby's head coming through the dilation. Have you guys seen the meme? It's like all these circles. Like, yeah, that's a big head. So, I mean, I would
Yeah.
think you would want to celebrate moms all the time, you know, maybe because of that, but it's just me. I'm just saying. So if you guys are jumping on, make sure you guys comment and let us know what you're drinking this morning. I know that we're talking about moms, so if you guys did something special for Mother's Day, let us know also in the comment section. What did you do this morning, Yesenia, or not this morning, I mean yesterday for Mother's Day? What fun things did you do?
Well, first and foremost, I woke up to a text that my sister was in labor, so she had baby Elias at
Oh,
9:05 a.m. So
oh,
congratulations and happy Mother's Day to my
Yeah,
sister.
congratulations, Veronica.
And
yay.
then after that, we got ready for church. We went to church, came home. I picked up a little bit, and then me, my son, his girlfriend, her mom, and her sister, and me and the girls went out to eat. I went to Portillo's and Niles. I had a salad. um, so we went there. Then from there, I left, came home, and opened some gifts that my sister got me through Amazon. I had my daughter Yoseline pack them for me. So I had a whole little table of gifts. My son had purchased some gym shoes that he had on a couple weeks ago that I fell in love with, and I told him this: I'm not really a gym shoes girl, you know. And so when I fell in love with these, I was like, wow. So he got them for me. He gave me an early Christmas, look, birthday, Christmas, no, yes, Mother's Day gift a week ago. So that's kind of started then. Got a whole bunch of flowers from my dad, flowers from him, flowers from my oldest son Hector that my other son gave to me yesterday. A postcard from my future daughter-in-law Evelyn, Gio's girlfriend, that had a picture of me and her when we went skydiving. We took a picture together, and she mailed the postcard with a beautiful message on the back. My other son's girlfriend called me and basically told me how amazing I am and stuff. So that kind of got me all emotional. So it was really, really good. I did have an off morning prior to the text from my sister. And then Saturday I was kind of off too. But I don't know. It was amazing. I Mother's Day doesn't have to Mother's we don't have to have Mother's Day for my kids to show me how much they love me. They actually do constantly express
Show
that.
you.
So yeah.
Oh, I
Who
think
wants
it's
to figure it
nice.
out? But
Oh, I think that's nice. And I think having like an army of kids is nice too, right? Like you have technically a small army, right? 5 kids. You
and
know,
girls spread apart.
I've always wanted a big family,
Mhm.
so I'm not like done with this. So you're encouraging me to continue because it's hard. Like once you hit number 3, like I don't know if that was the case for you, but now that I'm with number 3 child and now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, this is hard, So I'm like, do I want to go one more time? Like, do I really want to go one more again? Like.
Let me just tell you, do it now before you turn 35. Do it now.
Oh, yeah, I have one. Yeah, I'm 34 right now, so I'm literally like, I
Get
need to
on
girl,
on
I
it.
need to know. I'm losing weight first. There's no way. Like, I need to drop this weight because if I get pregnant now, Lord help me.
You know
Uh,
what it is? It is that I think we all think that way because, but God made us mothers for a reason, right? We make it, we somehow figure it out, right? Yes, when I had the boys, I was contemplating having a third one, but I really wanted that girl, right? But I was going to be completely done after my daughter, okay? From my
oh, the
previous
13
marriage.
year old? The 13 year
Yes,
old.
yes, that was going to be it. So I was like, God is imperative that this is a girl. Like if, like if I can make that call, right? Because I was going to be done, even if it was a boy. So
Mm,
mind you, Celine is 8 years apart from Gio. So I was older, you know what I'm saying? I was 28, so I was older, so I was a little bit more mature and stuff like that. But little did I know that God was gonna go ahead and bless me with twins. Because I had two more girls at that. You wanted a girl? Toma, doma. We can
mm, eh, you probably have energy. Like your energy level must be a lot higher than like the normal woman's energy level, even though it didn't feel like that for you. Like to have two, girl, I don't know. I don't think I could handle it. I think I'd be yanking my hair out. But I know you're right. God's gonna give you what you can handle, right?
yes,
So
yeah.
I love that. I love that. And yeah, I think like I need a. That's why I got on your program. I'm gonna try Yesenia's program because I'm like, I need to lose this baby weight. I'm done. Let me try Yesenia's program. Just to drop the weight and maintain it. So I'm excited about that because we've been waiting for Yesenia's Yesenia's stuff to come to me for the last 2 weeks. So what does being a mom mean to you? Is our next question. And if you're watching the chat, go for it and share, ladies. What does being a mom mean to you?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm only 4 months into this journey, and I'm still trying to like figure out what does like a mom mean. I do know like the type of mom I want to be is like to help my child transition into a productive member of society and be a Christian that I'm hoping that she chooses that religion and that faith, and that I'm a good role model for her. But I'm still like when you posted in the membership to do a video and you wrote that, and I really thought about that for like 2 days, and then it was like Saturday at 5 and I'm like, I still don't know what it means. Like, I don't know.
I think that's how we all were in the like in the your first child, and you're just like, okay, I know this is what I want it to look like, and then do your
Yeah.
best. I think you hit it on the head. I mean, for me, being a mom, so I keep thinking about Yesenia. Like, I have like 5 kids to take care of me now when I'm old. Like, should I be thinking like that? Like, I shouldn't be thinking like that, right? But I mean, I get to like share who I am. There's a little person of, that's combination of me and my husband running around now. Like, I get to teach. If you're a talker, if you like to teach, you get to teach all the time, right, to this little one and instill your knowledge. Like, I like that picture. If you guys ever seen, it's another meme that's around, like, you see a little child and the pieces of the adult of the big statue, which was the parent, was taken out to form this little human. So I think it's just a nice way of sharing your legacy, sharing who you are, passing it down, and teaching your values and continuing your bloodline or your lineage or whatever you want to call it. That's my opinion. I don't know about you ladies, or Yessenia, if you want to share.
Well, how can I say it? I mean, what it means to me is, how we all find our purpose, even as adults, so I feel like what it means to me is kind of piggybacking to what you're saying is, guiding them in the direction, and a little bit of what Nara said too, direction of finding their purpose in life, and try to instill the values and the morals that we grew up in, even if we didn't. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but anyways, just trying to guide them in the right direction to be able to be add value to life in general and to other people. You don't want to live day by day not trying to add value in your life or someone else's life. So I feel like just finding that direction for them, that they make the right decisions moving forward, and just duplicating who you are in them, but all in them be their own person, if that makes sense. So duplicating who you are in them, like this is how you do things, but also being yourself in the process at the same time. And then just being good people, being good people. Be a good woman, be a good man, man of God, woman of God. I'm not perfect and stuff, and I still every day struggle to try to be that good role model. You mentioned that as well, be a good role model. So then you pass that on to them, and then they take it on to their kids and so forth. And I think that's super important, despite what we've gone through, despite divorce at a young age. Me and my mom and my dad divorced when I was 13, and I'm not saying anything about those who go a different direction, but me and my sisters chose not to. We chose not to decide to rebel because our parents decided to divorce. We decided to go a different direction. And although it has not been without struggle, we still made the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go a different direction. We didn't get into gangs. We didn't get into drugs. We didn't get into drinking, which is what sometimes happens to some kids. But I think what happens too is that when the mom and your parents are, how can I say it? When they put the kids in the center of it, in a sense where not to gosh, I can't even speak it, not to expose them to all the drama, and you're working together, then I think that makes a difference in the child's life. Now, on my end, that wasn't the case. There was drama between my mom and my dad. Like I said, it's different. I think we were built differently.
Absolutely.
It's not the case. So I think that's super important to have that good relationship, despite of what's going on in the relationship with the parents, because you can really damage a child when there's all this bickering and all this stuff, especially in front of them. So I don't know how I got into that, but anyways, I think you kind of got the gist of what what it means to being a mom.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke your truth, and that's why this conversation is. That's why people enjoy these conversations, because we're just speaking our truth and in a conversation of what I think it is a lot to be like, what does it mean to be a mom, and then put like the mic to somebody's face, like, what does that mean? And you're gonna be like, shit, I don't know. Sometimes you're just like, I kind of just fell into this, or sometimes you're like, no one ever really, I don't think you really sit there and like, what does being a mom mean to me? You know, it means we don't sleep. It means we're tired. It means we're like, we sacrifice ourselves, right? We sacrifice our, it was so funny because my husband yesterday was like, whatever you want today, just tell me. I'm like, are you sure you want to ask me that question? You know, because I don't know if you ready for that. Um, but we were kind of just joking around, and it's like, who takes care of daddy with the kids? They're like, who takes care of daddy, mommy, or who takes care of each other more? And my middle child is like, mommy takes care of you more, daddy. And my dad was like, shut your mouth. Like we were playing around, just goofing off, but it's like, well, yeah, usually the role is the mom is the woman, the mom, the wife is the main caretaker, right? Like that's the role that we play. Again, I ain't hating on reverse gender roles. If your household works differently, some households do operate differently, but you know, at least in my home, the role I play is being the main caretaker, making sure everything gets taken care of, even if it's not 100% perfect. Because I don't beat myself up if I don't get it right. Like if the laundry didn't get done right, it's on you guys. Learn how to do laundry. Like what I'm saying? Like that's
That's what
how
I
I
struggle.
operate.
That's what I struggle with. I struggle with that. Exactly what you said about like being perfect. It takes a lot. It takes a lot out of me to be like, okay, you know what? I didn't get the dishes done. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. I just have this thing where, and little by little, I'm trying not to do that because that really gets to me to a point where I get moody. That's a problem. Um,
Yeah.
Now going back to what you were saying about like, I forgot what you had stated, but I mentioned in my video, there isn't a guidebook. There isn't a guidebook. There isn't a manual of what's right, what's wrong with parenting. You learning even now. I'm still learning. I still got 3 more to go. I'm still learning as I go along. So never feel you're less than a mother because you lost your cool for whatever reason. It happens, or an F bomb pops out. I'm a Christian. It happens. I do get disappointed and upset, and I have to walk away because, gosh. So it happens, but every day. And at the end of the day, when you get these Mother's Day gifts saying you're the best mom ever, even despite that, that says a lot.
Yeah. Amen.
Well,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna crack a joke. Like now I understand why you work out 2 hours a day. Just saying, you got 5 kids. Like you need to
Yeah.
get that stress out.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nara.
Right now, I go around the block, but if I had 5 kids, I'd probably be like, bye, I'm going to the gym for 2 hours. But I'm constantly finding ways to try to get away from my family. I'm just kidding, but I'm also here 24/7. So if I get like an hour or two away, it's, I don't work outside of the home or inside of the home right now. I just study. uh, but I was going to say, I don't know if you guys remember way, way, way back to the first year of your first baby, because I know one of you is on a teenager and the other has, already a 20-something-year-old. But I was having a discussion with somebody and they said that I needed to find my identity, as what it means to be Gabriella's mom and what it means to be Gabriel's wife. And, being a 35-year-old first-time mom and having a career first and having an identity first in Christ, but outside of Christ, like the different hats that I wore, it's just weird to me that I introduce myself first as somebody's mom or somebody's wife, because it's not and I understand what they're saying is that I need to put, for me, is because I don't find my identity in that. I find it in my accomplishments and my accolades and my awards. And this is what I've done for my community, or this is what I've done for my employer, or something like that. Or, I left all these people better off, or whatever. So it's trying to find that, but also just and I lost my job due to COVID. And so for me to just kind of fall into this role that I never thought I would be in, by complete accident, in my plans and by complete purpose on God's end. But it's like I'm scratching my head like, oh my gosh, like this is really my life. Like now my life is revolving around taking care of a little human. It's been more of like a struggle, and it was, oh, my hair looks really messy, but it's really cool looking. Sorry. Um, it's like, it's just been more of a struggle because I didn't start off with having that mom and that wife role, from the very beginning. And then I fell into careers the opposite way around. So it's like, no, these are your identity. And like trying to find out what that means has been like, I still can't. And it's only 4 months into it. I'm sure this time next year I'll have a little bit of a better picture, but it's been really much of a struggle to find my identity as like somebody's mom and somebody's wife. And also just like, I realize even at 35 years old, like I romanticize and fantasize the whole like mom life and wife role. Like, I'm 35 years old, still thinking I'm a Disney princess. Like, what? But, it's just so funny because I think as women, we always romanticize things and everything. And even like yesterday, I romanticized Mother's Day, my first Mother's Day. Like, I was talking to myself and I'm like, Nara, the gates of heaven aren't going to magically open up so you can walk through them and the baby's not going to cry today and this and that because, there was a time in the day where the baby started crying. I was like, are you going to take care of her? Like, it's like I had such an unrealistic goal, like dream in my head that Mother's Day was just gonna be this stress-free and my hair in the wind and magically it's the day of the year that everything is perfect. And no, the husband still had to go to work and the baby still cried and the baby still had dirty diapers and like I was like really hurt about that. And I'm like, I had a whole discussion with myself like, okay, Nara, so we need to talk about expectations for next Mother's Day. We know like there's no, whatever I was thinking was gonna happen. It's like, but I don't know if you guys had that like way back with your first Mother's Day or your first baby.
Can I
Go
say
ahead,
something
Yessenia.
really quick? Okay, so I can't remember with my first how it was. I mean, I had my oldest when I was 20. I can't remember, but I can tell you this past weekend how I felt, and I can relate. Like I get so focused on the fact it's Mother's Day weekend, and I should be feeling a certain way. I was off on Saturday. I did not have a good Saturday. I want to get into it, but I was just like, and I was crying even more because I'm like, it's Mother's Day weekend and this and that, and I shouldn't be going through this right now. And then, and it's like, what if it was another weekend? Why is it because Mother's Day weekend? Well, am I extra emotional? And I'm not making light of the fact that it's Mother's Day and whatever, it's special, but it shouldn't be just Mother's Day that we have, feel happy and stuff like that. It should be all the time. So I was, like I said, I was a little off. And then Sunday in the morning, I was almost not going to go to church. I get that text message from my, sister, and I'm just like, do I have to take you to the hospital? Her mother-in-law did, but I wasn't sure. So that got me up. And I'm like, okay, Yessenia, get out of this funk, get ready, let's go to church, So I it's not only your first, you just have, again, it's me, maybe, Valentine's Day, all these things, we feel like it's like, I know it's under the Hallmark holiday, which in all honesty, it is just a holiday per se and just another day. But we make such a big deal out of it where we get to the point where we're stressing ourselves over it. Oh,
Yeah.
this one didn't wish me a Mother's Day. This one didn't wish me a happy birthday. And this, like, you know, so I don't know. We just take it to a whole different level. And I think it's just our hormones too, especially that we got children. And it's just, and then, I don't know. But no, it's not just your first child. Because I went through my thing this past weekend. Okay.
Wow. No. I think everyone goes through that. And I remember like I have my first kid at 22. So 20, not 22, 20, right? So I get where Yesenia is coming from. And I think for me, it's like, I I wanted to be like I had her while I was in college, right? So it's like I wanted to be the best wife that I can be, the best mom, and I put this really unrealistic expectation, like I want to wear the apron and keep the house clean by like 6 a.m. and like, bro, now I'm like, whatever. 14 years later, it's like the house is gonna look like however it's gonna look like. I don't care, you know. It's I'm not a baker. I cannot bake for the life of me. I just gotta be honest with myself. Like, I have the apron. If I could wear it once in a while, like, you have this mentality, like you want to be what you see on TV or what you want to see on media. Like, this is the kind of mom, like, the 90s moms, like in the TV shows, like she's always happy. She was always like cooking. She's always taking care of her family. Like, I think I'm more of like, I don't know, maybe a Goldberg mom. If you guys know the Goldberg mom, she's a little more crazy, a little more feisty, a little more like, that's more of like a realistic mom, a realistic mom. But you know what? I guess, and I have great comments here that I want to share. I think like this past Mother's Day, I said, I don't care how, I'll be in my mindset, as long as they get me something or do something, I don't care what it is, I'll be happy. It could be something really small. And my husband cooked breakfast, I got flowers. We're quarantined, so we couldn't really go anywhere, right? We're coming out of our quarantine because we had COVID. But it was nice because I was like, I'm happy with my flowers. I'm happy with my breakfast. I'm happy with Hooters. Like, it doesn't take a lot, at this point I'm happy with what I got, and
Yeah.
I put on a spring dress and did my makeup, and that was good. Like, this is good. I'm good with this. I'm happy. um so let
I
me share the comments.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Yesenia.
I'm sorry. No, with the whole like, cooking and stuff, I'm the same way. I'm not, my sister she's the apron type. She's the apron and the baking cupcakes or whatever. Me, girl, I'm like, oh my gosh. I barely even cook, I'll be honest with you. Everybody got their, we cook every day. I barely cook, meaning like I can make mac and cheese, I'll make them sandwich, whatever. And I can cook, but it's just, oh, I just don't cook every day. I've just actually put the effort last week. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start making some rice and beans and some pork chop for the kids, because I don't really eat that right now, or barely. But I'm like, okay, but my kids gotta eat, right? And they eat, but they're not eating a whole cooked meal like I really want. So I've actually been putting the effort to do that. But the days that I don't beat myself up for it. You know what I'm saying? So, the next mom may judge and be like, oh, well, you got to make sure kids, you know what? My kids are alive and well and they're healthy. So regardless of what I'm doing, they're obviously okay. So
Yeah.
But
everybody's not the same. And another thing, like what
and
Nara was saying about finding your identity, there's nothing wrong with giving yourself a break. I said this in my video yesterday too. Sometimes I just want to get away. Just get the heck away from me. I'm being transparent. Doesn't mean that I love my kids any less. Because you got moms out there that, and again, not judging, that's fine, but don't bring it to me. Don't bring your little judgment thing or comments to me about how, oh, well, your kids are they're gonna get older, they're gonna be out the house. I was like, okay, yeah, I get that. So I spend as much time as I can with them, but I still need a break at least every once in a while. I'm not saying every day. I'm not saying I'm handing my kids over to somebody because I want to go party. I just need a break because that's gonna help me get rejuvenated again, to be able to deal with them again. And when I say deal, I'm not saying it in a negative sense, but being a mother, just like with work and everything, you need that mental health day. Well,
Yep.
sometimes I need a mental health day from my own children.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
They're very needy and it's understandable. They're kids.
Yep.
So I shouldn't be judged, and then all other mothers shouldn't be judged if they need a break. So
You're absolutely
that
right.
so that's what I'm saying. When you're like all the cooking and stuff, like I fantasize being a working woman thinking, oh my gosh, it would be great to be able to cook 3 meals a day, every single day, because I didn't have that capability because I was so busy that I thought it would be just this fulfilling task to like keep a house clean. Like I romanticize, oh my gosh, it would be so great to have a clean house and I finally have the time to do it. And now that I'm at home, like there were 3 meals cooked and my house was clean for like a little bit until it wore off, until I'm like, there's no fulfillment in this. There's no fulfillment in like 2 hours of sleep and like thinking that you're going senile, but you're just exhausted. There's no fulfillment in like changing a dirty, stinky diaper that you got accidentally on your hands. You're like, oh, this is gross. It's like what what was I thinking, you know? But so I say that because it's really funny and stuff, and realizing that the fulfillment isn't going to be in tasks like it used to be. The fulfillment is
Mm,
probably going to come in conversations, is probably
mhm,
going to come in the time where you see your daughter or your son really needing you, like things like that. It's not going to be around like tasks. But it's just funny that you said that, because I'm like when the person told me, like, think about what your identity is, and I thought about what I did day to day, and I'm like, there's no fulfillment. Like, that doesn't fulfill me. And if it fulfills another woman, God bless you. For me, it was like, I like a challenge. I like dealing with difficult people and helping them. I like connecting. Like, I know where I get like my dopamine from. And it's not like, cooking and cleaning, which I romanticized because I had a lack of time to do those things previously. And I think that's probably how
mhm.
everybody felt pre-COVID, to be pre-quarantine, to be honest with you. Then they're like, oh no, I don't want this.
Yeah, yeah. I think it might. I wonder what the experience would have been if you weren't in COVID times, right? Like, and you just had your first baby, first mom, like first time mom during a pandemic. Like, this is like history, right? Like, so the experience also might be a little different. So let me share these comments real quickly and make sure that I acknowledge the comments. We have Mary. She said, "Morning, ladies. I'm drinking coffee, collagen, and pecan caramel creamer. I think I'm gonna buy a creamer. I know I'm not big into putting in creamers in my stuff, but I think I'm gonna start doing that." So we have Mary who said that. And then we have Mary Solis, who's also currently in our coaching program. Good morning, saludos, happy Mother's Day. She's a sweetie pie. We also have Ruby. I can relate with my 8 and 13-year-old as a single parent. No flowers, no gifts, no cooked meals. Kids were still demanding, and I had to think, what was I expecting, and be realistic about what do I need to do to care for myself. Big hug, mama. And she also messaged, no one to acknowledge me, but you know what? I acknowledged myself. I loved myself, and I'm guilting the heck out of my kids this week, going to get them to do some extra chores. You're so funny. You're so funny. I couldn't get my middle child. You know that middle child doesn't like give a damn about anything. Like I couldn't get her to do a chore if life depended on it. Like she's the one that's like, go, mommy. All I want is you guys have the house clean. And she like literally ran to her room, like she tried disappearing from me. She was like, yeah, sure, mom. Like, you're only 7. How do you do this? But let's go into our next conversation. Since we're talking about daughters, what can we as mothers do to keep our daughters safe? So we all have daughters here. For the viewers that are watching, if you have daughters, let us know, or sons. I think either or, our children in general. But I can go into the conversation. Nara sent me a video of a woman in Plano, Texas, and this was scary. I guess they were getting their nails done, and the woman that was doing her 14-year-old daughter's nails was videotaping her, face living her to some man. And the little girl got uncomfortable. I have a 13-year-old, and I know you have a 13-year-old too, Yessenia. And the little girl was uncomfortable and went to her mom, said, I want to I want to leave. Like, she stopped doing her nails, said, I want to leave. Well, and the mom, I guess, was confused, like, what's going on? And then she realized her other daughter said that they were videotaping the daughter, living her to a man. And at some point, the man gave a thumbs up to the lady that was doing her nails and saying, like, I guess this is a good one. Yeah. And then I guess they called the cops. They even took a picture of the mom. Like, the lady even took a picture of the mom. So that was scary when I saw Nara. Nara, do you want to say a little bit more about it?
Yeah, it was, I just, and it brings me back to this clip that I saw of, it was 2 older women. Clearly one was a mom, one might have been a grandma, just to paint a picture of the ages, and then this little girl, and there's, in a fenced-in patio area, and you see this guy on this camera rush in and grab the girl and try to drag her try to drag her off the fence, and everybody, there's literally this tug of war over this girl with this random man. How do we combat something like that? A nail salon? Are you kidding me? Like, I've another fantasize of taking my little baby, my little girl, to go get her nails done. And it's so funny because in that video, they kept asking her, "Oh, your daughter's so pretty. How old is she?" I get that all the time, and it never thought to, I'm like, "Oh, a doting mom. Yeah, she's this old." I never would have thought that somebody was thinking potential sex trafficking of my daughter. Let me, and those were the questions that those people at that nail salon were asking, this woman, "How old is your daughter? Oh, where does she go?" Just like small talk that we hear all the time.
It's scary.
And yeah, it's really scary, because how do you, like, now going to a nail salon's insane? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's scary. Do you want to say something, Yessenia, about it?
I had no idea about that, but yes, that gave me goosebumps right now. That's, yeah. I mean, there was a situation a couple years ago. I was living in Wisconsin at the time, and it was one of the weekends that I was here in Chicago. And I went to the Dollar Tree by the Brickyard, the one that is closed down now because now they made it, the Walgreens that used to be there on Grand is now the Dollar Tree. But the other one where it used to be right across from Aldi, I had went there to buy a couple of things for my son's surprise 18th birthday. So it's like 3 years ago. And I had my daughter with me, and I happened to be in one of the aisles. And you know how you notice people? Okay, you notice people, right? Whatever, not a big deal. I go to the next aisle, there's the same man in that aisle. Again, not thinking anything of it. The next aisle, then again. And I'm like, Yessenia, grab my arm right here. Grab my arm or whatever. We got out the aisle. And then he approached me with a business card. And I'm like, and I yelled in the store, and I'm like, "Don't you ever do that again." I go, "It's not that serious. You follow me through every aisle just to give me a business card?" I was like, "No, I don't want your business card. It wasn't that serious for you to do all that." So I thought, I was thinking crazy at that point. Ever since then, I said, "How big are you going to stay right by me?" Because it is scary. And how we keep them safe is just, you're always picking them up, dropping them off. There's no walking to the store, not even with your friend. None of that. Yes, I'm being overprotective even more now, but I'm sorry. I'm trying not to even cry right now because I cannot imagine something like that happening. And I'm not sure if Nara is talking about the same video that I seen not too couple months ago about the mom and the daughter. They were in the aisle, and the guy grabbed the daughter, and literally by the book bag, she's grabbing for dear life. She had this energy, this adrenaline rush, where she held on to her daughter until he gave up and he left. And I showed that video to my sister. He literally grabbed her right by the mom. Grabbed her. He was in the other aisle, kind of looking. And this was caught on the video camera. It was a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General store. I'm not sure that's the same thing or not. But yes, and they're watching, So every time I have my daughter with me, even the girls, if I have to put them in the cart as big as they are, I put them in there. If not, you stay by me, and I'm looking around like a little paranoid person. But I don't care. I'll give people the eye and everything like that. Like, I know I'm watching you. How do you not dare? I role play this whole thing in my head. I go, "Don't you dare touch my kid."
Yeah. So my daughter, before we had this really good weather, I have a jogging stroller, and it has this strap over it that you put over like where the car seat goes into the stroller, just in case you're running, you hit a bump or whatever. It's like a safety precaution. But there's this mall over by me, a Skokie Mall, that I used to go to, and I used to just walk to get my steps and my miles in. And I used to put it over, and like, I've literally thought about this stuff, and she's only 4 months old. And when I used to go to this mall, and when we were having bad weather, I would keep her covered. I would think like there are people that were coming up to me that I would be like looking around, because you just don't know, like, who's just going to try to grab and go.
Yeah.
And And like the thing is, that's at a mall, but where I struggle with this is like 14 years old, 13 years old. That was the place for us to hang out. That was our free time. Like you'd go to the mall with your friends and you'd walk around and look at the boys, and the boys would look at you. And so like now it's like I don't even want my daughters at a mall. I don't want them, and it's not because I don't trust them. It's because you know there are these videos of these people trying to take our babies.
Yep. Yep. I think that was one of the things. Sorry, Yesenia. Did you want to say something? Um, I would watch a lot of those videos. It got to the point where I had to stop because it was getting me so paranoid. Because once you see one on Facebook, they'll start showing you more
Yeah.
and you won't stop. Right. And I'm like, bro, I can't watch these no more. Because, for me, having three girls, in my mind, I was like, now I'm outnumbered in the sense like I only have two hands. Like I only can hold two kids' hands. I don't have more hands to hold now a third child, right? Like, you know what I was saying, Yesenia? So that's why I was like, I applied for my FOID card, not because of everything that was going on, it's because I have three daughters. That's why I was like, no. And I've had very similar experiences where like I run, right? You guys know I enjoy running all the time. And what I did what I did what I did was I would go run with my daughters, right? And when the baby was first born, so maybe like in October, how old is she now? A year and a half. So maybe like before the winter that just passed, I put the baby in the running stroller. I had my middle child on the running seat. Um, and then I had my big one running with me because my big one wants to run with me. So we were all going, and some lady was parked down the street, maybe like a immigrant, Polish, Ukrainian, I don't know what she was, but she was like videotaping. She did that. She was like with her phone and she was like this. So I was like, is she for real right now? And it was like maybe 8 p.m. And I just remember like I started my inner like started yelling, like who are I started cursing, like kind of like, who are you recording right now? And she was like doing saying something in her language to some man, but it was going towards us. So I was like, okay, God, I was in the moment of like, do I snatch her phone right now and like break it? So I had to sit there and think, well, Holy Spirit, what would you do right now? Like, because my first thing was I started cussing and started yelling to intimidate her, but she completely was ignoring me. I don't know if she didn't understand what I was saying, but she saw my face. I went to her. I was like right at her, maybe like from the curb to the car, yelling at her. And I had Ines, and I said, Ines, she's my 13-year-old. I was like, hold the stroller, keep the girls with you. That was my first thought. And I said, no, you know what? Like, I know that was leading of the Holy Spirit. It was just like, keep moving, just go quickly, just keep walking, don't engage in confrontation, because I wanted to. And I was in the moment of like, do I snatch your phone, break it, and like punch her in the face, or do I take my kids? I don't know who's in the car, I don't know how far, I don't know what's going on. So I said, you know what, I haven't really gone since that moment because of that experience. That's why I was like, I need my Void card. I need to have my girls with me. Me and my daughters have a code, like hamburger helper is our code. Like if someone, because I'm so oblivious when I'm in the store, Yesenia, like in the store, you're like watching. I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I need this, I need that. And I'm not paying attention to my surroundings. And my 13-year-old's like, Mom, this guy's following us. And that's when I was like, in another episode, and I was like, okay, when that happens, you need to give me a code so I know, so I can like get prepared. And we have a code word now called hamburger helper. Like when she says that, that means someone's following us. Luckily, I guess once I made eye contact with the dude, he just walked away, because that's one of the things I read, like you got to make eye contact with the perpetuator and like actually so that they realize like, oh, I'm paying attention to you. So That's just my experience. But I don't really go out with all three of them at all anymore because of just like my mind says I have two hands and someone's gonna catch these hands. So, like I need to be I need to be prepared.
Um, so when you had said you only have two hands, I think about that when I'm with my three girls. And I do not like to live in fear. And I catch myself more often than not when I have them riding their bike and they go two ahead. I'm just thinking, car coming, grab one. What do I do? I can't chase the car. I got two other ones that it's just a really horrible situation to even think about. But you're right. You only have two hands. So you're going to grab the two little ones, right? The old one is going to be, is right there. Anybody can come and just grab her and be gone. I know that sounds extreme, but then what do? You got the little ones here. You can't drag that. What do you do in that situation? So, and the thing that's extra scary too is that you got women helping these men out, part of it, and they use children too. So you literally can't really trust anybody
Yeah.
at this point. So it's not only the men, they're using women, which is sad. You know what I'm saying? A woman to do this, and then they're using children as well to, obviously from a different country, whatever, to pay them, whatever the case. I guess, money talks, right? So it is very scary, to know that there's people out there that are plotting this. Like these people, they're not just doing this out of the whim. They're watching us. When I walk out there, I used to have the same routine when I would go out to go to work and stuff. The girls would run ahead. Do not run ahead from me, because there could be somebody waiting on the corner. Like, oh, she usually comes out about 7:00 a.m. And usually this little girl runs for. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking crazy like that. Snatch her and be gone. What do I do?
Yeah.
So stay by the gate. Do not pass the gate. I don't care if the car is right in front. You wait until I get there, and then I'll tell you when to go.
Yep. Have you guys ever seen how the Chinese, I know, I think maybe I brought it up to you, Nara, in the past, what Chinese parents do? Or like even in the education system, what they do for kidnapping? Because, it's more common for in China for kids to get kidnapped. So they actually have been teaching in their schools like drills of if you were to get kidnapped, what do you do? And I'm talking about these little 3, 4, 5-year-old kids. Like immediately they know, like if someone's gonna snatch me, my goal is to get on my belly, wrap my feet around one foot, and hug the other foot of the person that's trying to take me, because this is gonna, one, make me really heavy and hard for them to pick me up. It's just chances of survival increase versus just being snatched up and taken away. So I encourage you guys to look up. It was like China self-defense, like avoid children getting kidnapped. Like, and when you first see it, you're like, holy moly, like they're teaching this in schools for kids not to get kidnapped. Like, this is what you do. So I'm not gonna lie, me and my daughter practiced yesterday. I was like, we were doing a whole bunch of funny stuff, but my husband was trying to like, okay, what are you gonna do, Inez, if I try to snatch you? And it was just too funny. But we were actually doing it. Like she got on the floor and like hugged his feet and grabbed his other foot, and we were just like in our minds, like you just gotta be aware. And it's not that I'm trying to attract it, but we want to prevent something if something were to happen. So yeah, I think about this topic all the time. Like I'm constantly thinking about this, like you, Yessenia. So I don't want to scare nobody.
No, and what? I feel like just listening to you ladies talk, you guys are kind of like unsure and saying, I don't want to live by fear.
Oh, I think she
If I'm
froze.
wrong for, am I better now?
Yeah, you're good.
I think it's like one thing for us to not allow that fear to overtake us, but I also think it's incredibly healthy for us to have these routines with our daughters. I loved when you mentioned that you're getting your Floyd card. Immediately I was like, oh yeah, why should I have a struggling match when I can just pull my gun and shoot somebody that's trying to kidnap my daughter? Like, I'm sorry, that's like such a great idea, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to have a tug of war over my child. I know who she belongs to. And it's sad that, like, and I know that you two have a 13 and a 14-year-old, and it's sad. It's sad, but at least you're preparing them, and it's something that I'll probably have to do with my daughter too, because it's not like a paranoia. I'm just trying to validate, this is not some paranoia. This is happening every day. This is happening more times. Both of you ladies have ran into these situations, and to be honest, like, I've been on walks or something and I've seen these cars drive by slowly, and the first thing I think about is not that they're going to rob me, not like this. I always try to make eye contact, and then I'm like, okay, I got to get home, because what if they're trying to take my baby? And I'm not being paranoid, like, this stuff. No, we're not paranoid. Like, this stuff is really happening, and it happens just like that. And these people are on a prowl, and they are, they're looking. It's really happening. It's not a like a um something that we are imagining here, is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's not imagination. It's just being cautious. And
Yeah.
I like Ruby said better change that code now, Jennifer. Agree. Like it's a code between me and my daughter, but maybe even considering, because I'm putting it out here what me and my kids do, right? I'm putting it out on social media. So let's go. This is really good topic. I think it's important conversation to have. So thank you for bringing this to our attention, because I don't know if enough moms think about this stuff, and maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it's just something to talk about, right? Um, so finally, let's wrap up our conversation. I know that we're getting close to time. Celebrity social media posts like Will Smith. So Nara, can you go into detail of what that was about?
So Will Smith posted a positive body image that is him saying something to the effect of that he needs to get his body in shape. It's the worst shape he's ever been in. Blah blah blah. And he posted it, and he was getting all sorts of positive feedback. And later on in the comments, he then posted that he's teaming up with YouTube and like some celebrity trainer, something like that, to get his body back. And then people started basically kind of not giving him good replies, because I kind of thought it was like a bait and switch. And also people were talking about like, well, of course, Will Smith, it's easy for you to get your, pre-COVID body back because you have all these resources. Like you're getting paid by YouTube for this partnership. You're getting paid by these trainers. And, the question that I proposed was, is that really something that America needs right now? Are all these celebrities, or celebrities like Will Smith and other people, posting about their post-COVID bodies because they have access to a lot of things that we don't?
Yep. Like
Is that
chefs.
harming us, or is that hurting us, as America? Do we really need all these people posting about how they're going to get their body back, but they're not doing it like we are?
Yeah, I could see why that could, because I know does it harm us or does it help us, right?
Yeah.
And I think for celebrities, obviously they have chefs that can like, hey, I need to cut down on this and I need to up this, or I need you to create me a diet that provides this nutritional value, but I want to take the meat out, right? Like I can imagine it's easier for having a team to say, here's your food. Like, here, I prepped the food, here it is, here's your meal, eat it now, right? Um, and then having a trainer, like I'm just gonna pay a personal trainer, be at my house at 8 in the morning, and think about
Wake
it. When a
me up.
trainer, yeah, a trainer's gonna come. If you know the trainer's coming, you're gonna work out. Like there's no now. If your butt has to get up by yourself and go to the gym by yourself or work out at home, it might be a little different because the accountability is a little different. So I'm sure Yesenia can since she's like 2 hour workout queen, and uh she just won a bikini contest. She got fourth and fifth place through NPC. I hope I said that right? Right? They NPC competition. I mean, this woman, I'd be like, what she just worked out before she got on here. Like that just talks about dedication, right? Like not everyone has that mindset, right?
I agree. So it is definitely hard when you're doing it on your own. So you're right. I do agree when it comes to celebrities. There's nothing wrong with promoting that post body thing type of thing, but it's very. I think it's very important to show be very transparent and show the process. Like this is what I did. This is what I did, and be transparent. If you are using, these resources, be like, hey, just so you guys know, you know, I'm able to get someone to come to my house and things like that. But for someone who can't, I think this is the steps that you should take to motivate yourself. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that because they have the resources. Why not? I think if we did, we would too, right? But also think of the people that the majority of the people that are watching you, they're not going to have those types of resources. So be empathetic towards that and encouraging in other ways than that. Does that make sense? Don't just show up before and then a couple minutes after. It's like, okay, but what was the process
Yeah.
through all
Yeah.
that? And I'm most of the time I'm not motivated to wake up in the morning to work out. Okay, as crazy as it sounds,
Yeah.
I'm not. And yes, I work out 2.5 hours a day, but I am working that much also because I'm competing again. Other than that, I probably would work out an hour, hour and a half, not 2.5 hours.
It's an
You
hour.
know- okay, Nara.
Kudos.
Like over there, just an hour.
I walk around my block.
Oh my god! Well, that's what I was working out before I decided to compete in January. When I started training, so it definitely is challenging, and I do work out here at home. To wake up and I get on my bike, I do my weights, and then during the girls' lunch, I do my 1 hour cardio. That's my second workout. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think that's all I really have to say in reference to that. I don't think there's anything wrong if you have the money for those resources, but be very real and transparent when it comes to that, and encourage people that don't have those resources and other alternatives. Like, hey, if you
Yeah.
guys can only do it when going to the gym or at home, this is what I think you should do, type of thing. So
Yeah.
it does set these unrealistic expectations from people, and then people like us are like, well, I ain't got the money, and then we feel like we can't do it at all. But you
Yeah.
could. You just have to work it to what works for you. If
Exactly.
that means having to get up to go to the gym, then do that. If that means getting some equipment at home, like I did, to get your butt up to do it, then that's what it's going to take. And
Yeah.
even with that, like I said, Jennifer, even with that, I'm going to have everything here. Well, not everything, but what enough to get what I need to get done. And I'm still like, oh, I don't want to get
Yep.
up or
Yep.
whatever. Think about me having to go outside of the house,
Yep.
and I'm right
Yeah.
here in my living room. So
I could see that. I could see
yeah,
that. I think you brought up a lot of good points, and I think one of the biggest things is that I keep talking about accountability, but you were accountable. You're competing. You're accountable to that challenge or that competition, right? Like you've paid, you registered. Now you're like, damn. Now I gotta do the work. Because I'm gonna sign up for this competition. So it makes sense why you're dedicating 2.5. It's easier when you sign up
yes,
for something, right?
I agree. I agree.
Versus like I just want to get healthy just to get healthy. Like I see right here, Mary, she said, it's hard, it is hard, but when you have a real reason why, then that's when motivation happens. Like
Yep.
for me, I'm in a point where it's just like, you know what, I just want to focus on my nutrition and I'll do running, but I'm not focusing on let me go hardcore, because I can work out and I've done where like I lose weight just through working out, but then I still have the same eating habits. And the moment I stop working out, that's the moment that I'm gonna gain weight back. So that's why this time around, I'm like, no, I really want to focus on what I'm putting in my body outside of shakes, because I can lose weight with shakes all day, every day, just do 2 shakes a day and then a meal and then boom, I lost weight, like with working out. But this time it's like, no, I want to avoid that because that's not a realistic way of, well, you're not going to drink shakes for the rest of your life. Like there's no way that I'm going to do shakes all the time. And I don't want to eat shakes all the time. Right. So I want to really just eat a meal and know that I'm healthy. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just sharing that with you guys where my thought process is at.
And Jennifer, I think you had a good point as far as working towards something, because it's true. When you are working towards something, whether it's a half marathon, whether it's a competition, again, like me, because I got two more this year so far, you're right. Even when you're not motivated, you're like, nope, I got to get leaner, I got to get thinner, I got to lose more weight. So even through the, oh, I don't want to do this, you're doing it. So it's true. So it seems like for me, it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to probably, even if it's not competition, I'm going to have to probably continue setting goals. Another one, maybe another, maybe a race, maybe this, maybe that, to get me going and stuff. Because after my first competition, I was still in awe that I even did it. And I was still trying to take it all in. I didn't know what to do with myself. But then I noticed that a couple of days passed. I was supposed to get back on track again because I had another competition to train for right away, and didn't work out that rest of the week. I carried over to the following week. Forget it. The more days you don't work out and don't stay on track with your eating, and not that I ate bad, but I wasn't really on plan completely. Does that make sense? So I really haven't even gained any weight, but I haven't been losing either. I lost 2 pounds finally this past week, so I'm at 121 now. But I have to get in my
Mm,
teens. Okay.
mm,
So I'm like, it's been 3 weeks. I have 5 more weeks to go for the next competition. So
mm,
I was getting very hard on myself mentally. I had a pep talk with my trainer on Saturday. Be like, I need a pep talk because I don't know what's going on with me. I'm beating myself up. I'm getting upset. I'm not waking up early enough. It's aggravating me. It's making me feel worse, and then I got this whole like menopause going on too. So I'm just all jacked up.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, it makes sense. And I think even for like, to keep trying, like now that I'm on my third kid, the weight just is so much harder to come off. And during COVID, it's like, Jesus, I wish, when I was 20, it was easy to like bounce back maybe. And then when I was 27, it was a little easier to bounce back. Now it's like, darn it, Jennifer, now you really got to like work off this weight. So, I love the fact, like, we need motivation, we need accountability. Will Smith, or celebrities like Jennifer Hudson. You remember she was chubby, right, when she first started, and then I think she got on what was it?
Weight
What
Watchers.
Weight Watchers. I'm sure they paid her money, and they're like, "Look, we're gonna get you on Weight Watchers. We're gonna pay you this amount of money. Get on our program, lose the weight, and be our, you endorse our program now." And it worked out for her. So I think if we were all celebrities, we would probably take advantage of what was offered to us, right? Um,
I mean, I would just go get lipo if I was a celebrity. I'd be like, F working out. I'm just going to go get this carved out of my body. But I mean, I do have to say, I'm 4 months and 3 weeks postpartum, and I've lost 30 of the 40 pounds that I've gained, and I'm on
mhm,
Weight Watchers. And I listened to the whole like reframing of the mind and stuff, and a lot of it is like, I do have to adjust being a new mom, being in COVID. My husband and I have decided that until we're fully vaccinated, that we won't return to a gym because the risk is just too high. So what do we do? And I realized for me, just being at home and in the house, like it's really relieving just to go out. And even if I only have time to walk around the block, like I just make sure that I do that. And sometimes I take a lot of walks around the block. Sometimes I can go farther than what I can, but it's always like, when I hear myself making excuses, I always say, okay, Nara, what can you do right now in this moment? And I know, like, for me personally, like, good for Will Smith, but I don't need you to, like, put on a platform that you're so proud of your body. And, like, we all know that in 8 weeks, you're going to be in the best shape of your life because you've worked out nonstop and it's like your full time job because you're getting paid. If it was my full time job, I would probably look a lot different than I do right now, too, Will.
well,
I'm
yeah,
just
absolutely. Like if he has, like, let's say Bad Boy, what is it? The next Bad Boy movie, he's gonna have to get fit, right? For the role. He has to look a certain way. That's what actors usually do. They have a like required body look. I'm sure it's gotta be intense. But I agree. I agree. I think this is a good conversation because a lot of women probably think about it and they don't talk about it enough. Like, the stroke, like you'd rather go the Cardi route. I know Cardi B said I got the lipo money, right? So that's why when she gained her weight, she just did lipo and got rid of it, right? And some people might just hire trainers or eat healthier. I think for us, we just got to find those things that are going to keep us motivated and keep us focused, right? That's what I think. All
Yeah,
right,
like
ladies.
Mary said, she said your why. She said when you have a why, that's the motivation that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
And and can I just use this public platform to say that if there's anybody out there wants to pay me a couple $1,000,000 to lose weight, I'll take it.
You're so funny. Oh, I think this is good. Like, a why is good. Like when my sister got married and had a wedding, I remember like I need my dress 2 sizes smaller. And my sister was like, Jennifer, don't mess this up for me. Like literally, because it was her wedding, and she's like, you better fit in bridesmaid dress. And I was like, I'll fit in it. Don't worry. I'll make it happen. And I did, but that was extreme. Like that's not like that's an extreme case, right? So, whatever works for people.
And I think that I agree with that. Whatever works for people, because there's programs that work for some programs that don't work for the other. But I think at the end of the day, and we talked about this, Jennifer, and I reiterate this all the time, especially to my clients. It's whatever it is that you guys do and the approach that you take. It's what matters is after you've reached that goal is maintaining it. What's happening a lot is people go the shortcut, or even if it's not a shortcut, and they reach their goal, then they feel like that's it. Okay, I reached my goal and that's it. No, you continue doing that. Now you're maintaining. So let's talk about how we're going to maintain that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mary can attest to this too, because she's in the health industry as well. It's the maintaining aspect. Oh yeah, we can lose the 30 pounds in a month doing this, doing that. But then when we're done, we don't want to lose any more weight, right? So you're not going to continue doing the same thing. But now what do I do differently to maintain it, to continue keeping that weight off? And not even the weight necessarily, because it's not only about the weight either, it's how you feel.
Mm-hmm,
You don't have to be like this. I'm going to tell you this right now, because I know people are like, oh, well, you already look skinny. It doesn't matter. This is my healthy. This is how I feel healthy. Your healthy is whatever your healthy is. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be skin and bones to be healthy. If you feel good at where you're at and you're eating healthy and you're doing the cardio, whatever, you don't got to look like this Victoria's Secret model. Everybody's healthy is different, and it's coming from me. Okay.
That's good.
So
that's good. That's a good point. I think this is great. And can I just give a shout out to Nara? You lost 30 pounds. Like that's amazing, and I think give yourself grace. Like you did a lot. 30 pounds, girl, 4 months. Jesus. I think that's amazing. So good job. So yeah, I love what you said. I think it's what you consider healthy. Like I would never want to, for me personally, I think I'd be happy. For some people, I might be like, shoot, I want to, for me, I want to be 185, 190. I'm happy. Like I'm happy at that. I don't want to be anything less than that. And personally, I'm 5'9", 5'8". I'm tall. So for me, it works. I don't want to be less than that. And for some people, they'd be like, oh, 185 is still a lot. For some, they might still think that. But for me, I'm happy at that size. It's what counts. Like you said, how you feel in your body. So I love that. So I know that we've ran out of time and we've actually gone over time, but I think we had a lot of good stuff to talk about. So do you have any final words that you want to share, Yessenia? And then we'll go to Nara.
not, I mean,
or promote something.
much.
Do you have something that you wanted to promote?
Well, I mean, I'm a health coach, so I mean, again, anybody who is looking to improve their eating habits, because that's super important. And like I've told, many people, you can work out all you want, as much as you want, 2.5 hours a day, like I'm doing and stuff like that. But if you don't get your eating right, you're defeating the purpose. And I can attest to that, because when I started this training in January, I gained twice. 1.8 pounds in 1 week and 2 pounds another week. And I was working out 2.5 hours a day for 6 days a week. And I cried. I'm like, how? Well, hello, I'm having extra peanut butter, having extra rice cakes. That's it. It doesn't matter. So I learned the hard way that you can't sit here and think that you're going to work 2.5 to 3 hours, even that, and think that you can eat whatever you want.
For sure.
So I'm here to help when it comes to that, and I help you also post reaching your health goals and in maintaining and so forth. So, and I can also help you take your health to the next level, just like I did. It doesn't have to be competition; it could be anything, and I'm here to actually guide you as well. So reach out
Guys,
if you need any help.
you have a free what is it that you're offering right now? I saw a
Oh
post.
yes, yes. So there is a free basic like healthy eating guide that I created. Very basic, but at least it gets you on a path to start eating healthier. So whether you decide to get on my program or anybody else's program or not, that is typically has helped some people that I've crossed paths with and talked with as far as starting to make better choices when it comes to their eating. So just have a simple basic eating guide that you can take into consideration when changing your eating habits to start off. And there's a link that I can send you guys that you can click on, and I'll send it to you through email. And then if it's something that you feel you need that accountability and that coaching aspect of it, I can help you with that part if you're having a hard time doing it on your own.
Cool. Yeah, so add that link to the chat when we're done with this, Yesenia. And Nara, do you have any final words? And you have the beautiful baby there next to you.
I do. She was joining us for a little bit, so I had to mute myself.
It's cool. She's our co-host.
Aw. So thank you. I just wanted to say that thank you, ladies, for the conversation. I think it really what you two were saying really resonated with me, and I'm sure it did with the rest of the audience. So thank you, and thank you for having me as a co-host, and Yesenia, thanks for joining us.
Yay. This is so exciting. We have the youngest co-host, youngest baby, 4-month-old co-host with us this morning. So that's so cute. She is so
Hello.
cute. She is so
Hi.
adorable.
Thank you so much.
So we have Yesenia's guide in the bottom, step-by-step beginner's guide to healthy eating. If anyone's interested, reach out to her. I need to make sure that I share that today's the last day. If you want to do the running, since we're training for half marathons and 5Ks and 10Ks, and I pray like I can run. I'm going to try to run today and see how my lungs feel. We do have get $15 off Mother's Day special, and today's the last day since today's Mexican Mother's Day. Uh, so if you want $15 off, use Mother's Day 15 at the checkout for the Fat Girls Run on June 6th, and I'll put that information in the chat as well if anyone wants those $15 off any of the races, the 5K, the 10K, or the half marathon. So thank you so much, Yesenia and Nara, for being here this
Thank
morning,
you for having me.
and Gabrielita. Super excited. And thank you again. Next week, we'll have more amazing topics for you guys. So definitely join us next week, and we'll see you guys soon.
Hey guys.
Bye. Thank you.